Azerbaijani poet, writer, and playwright Huseyn Javid, the main representative of the literary trend of romanticism in Azerbaijani literature, is the founder of the national romantic poem and verse tragedy. He received his primary education at the Mullah School in Nakhchivan and his secondary education at the new methodical school called School Education by Sidgi. In 1899-1903, he continued his education at the Talibiya Madrasa in Tabriz. After graduating from the literature department of Istanbul University, he taught in Nakhchivan, then in Ganja and Tbilisi, and from 1915 in Baku. For most of his life, Huseyn Javid was known as a playwright. Its philosophical and historical tragedies, the style of family dramas, a new stage in the new Azerbaijani dramaturgy in the form of writing, had a strong influence on the creation of national theatrical culture was characterized as Javid theater. Huseyn Javid, who went to Germany for treatment in 1926 and lived in Berlin for 7 months, wrote a number of political, lyrical, and lyrical epic poems reflecting the spiritual suffering of intellectuals. In 1920 and 1930, Huseyn Javid wrote a number of historical dramas such as The Prophet, Topal Teymur, Siyavush, Khayyam. The play Mother, the first verse tragedy in Azerbaijani literature, is the first work written by Huseyn Javid in a dramatic way. The events in the work take place in Dagestan. Sheikh Sanan put forward the idea of a universal religion to unite peoples. In the verse tragedy Iblis 1918, which occupies an important place in his work, the writer condemns wars and reveals the grave consequences of war. The most perfect poem in Huseyn Javid's works in terms of ideas and art is Azer. The poet began writing the poem in 1926 while receiving medical treatment in Germany and finally completed it in 1928. The poem Azer is a perfect work of art that broadly expresses Huseyn Javid's views on the West and the East, as well as Azerbaijan in the East-West. The play Maral 1912, written in the family plan, reflects the tragedies that money and wealth can cause in society. In the play Sheyda, which tells about the life of Baku printers, the presentation of a difficult way of life and the idea of freedom came to the fore. Unlike other plays, Javid devoted a lot of space to realistic, vital issues. The poem Tragedy Kanyas is one of the dramas written by Huseyn Javid on a revolutionary theme. The theme of the play is taken from the life of Georgia in the early 1920s. Huseyn Javid's poetry consists of his romantic poems and verses. Here are some examples of his famous poems.